If you feel like you have a handle on the 3-month supply, you may want to consider going bigger if you have the space and the resources. And again, this is not something that you have to do all at once. This has taken us years to accumulate. Welcome to our food storage room. I'll give you a little tour. So we have some more long-term storage here. We've got all kinds of dehydrated and freeze-dried food just in case, and we will cycle through this, as well as all of these buckets. Now these are things like cornmeal and wheat and oats and rice, things that we use on a regular basis, and we actually do cycles through those things. I make homemade granola quite often. I have a video for that on my channel. Make sure you check that one out as well. I'll put it in the cards. And I also have a recipe for my whole wheat honey oat bread, which is honestly to die for and super healthy. And I have all kinds of wheat over here, and that's what I use to make it. I actually grind it up myself. And then I have extra toilet paper and paper towel up high. And we even have extra dog food because the dogs have to eat too. So if this is your first time building up your long-term food supply and you're not really sure where to start, you're going to want to start with the basics. Things that you're actually going to use on a day-to-day basis. Things like oats and wheat and corn and sugar and salt, pasta, all those kind of things that are kind of staples in your diet. Those are the things that you're going to want to have. And you can buy those in number 10 cans like this, or in the big buckets like I've shown you. Now, the cool thing about a number 10 can like this, that's what this is called. This size is a number 10. This is called a 2.5. And the good thing about this is that this, once you have it in here and it's sealed, there are oxygen absorber tablets in there, and this will last for a long time. Usually, depending on the item, anywhere from 10 to 25 years. And don't forget your fruits and veggies. Most often those things come freeze-dried, and I much prefer them freeze-dried to dehydrated depending on the item. Dehydrated banana slices are amazing, but they don't last quite as long. The freeze-dried ones will last a really long time, and they're crunchy and they're really good. You can actually, we opened one of these to try them and we just ate them right out of the can, and my kids loved them to the point where I had to be like, okay guys, like you need to stop because we need to keep these just in case. Once you have the basics, don't forget to include things that are easy and quick for stressful times, such as freeze-dried meals like this. This is chili mac with beef, and this is great if you're using your long-term food storage, maybe for just a normal like day-to-day emergency, like your husband lost his job or something, and so you are, eating out of your food supply. Sometimes it's nice to have a quick and easy meal for those stressful moments so you don't have to put a lot of thought into it. Did those look familiar? I did a video all about those bags. Those are to-go bags or bug-out bags, and I have a video that tells you how to go about creating one of those and what to put in it, and I'm gonna go ahead and link it right here. Make sure you watch that video next. So this may not be for you, but if you're interested, the reason why we put things in these buckets is because number one, these are items that we use a lot of. So this is organic cane sugar. So we buy big bags of organic cane sugar that's raw. It's a little better for you than the other stuff that's bleached. And we put them in these buckets because they're safe. They keep them clean, it keeps them dry. They're safe from bugs and safe from the air, which would make the sugar clump together. So this is a great way to store long-term if you have high volume of any one item. This is a really good way to do it. And in this room, because it's fairly cool in here, things will last a long time. When you're storing bulk items, you're going to want to store them in 5-gallon buckets like I've already shown you, or if you're ordering 5-gallon buckets, then they're going to look like this. And there's a couple of things I wanted to point out about this, and that is the lid mainly. So most of the time you're going to have a lid like this, and it has this, it's sealed all the way around, and you have to use a knife to cut the seal all the way around, and then you have to use a bucket opener to open it. And of course I couldn't find my bucket opener for this video, so I will show you one that's identical to the one that I have. And basically you just hook it on and pull the tabs up all the way off, and then you can lift the lid off. Now if you don't have that bucket opener, it is a pain to get the lids off. And if you have a choice, I would highly recommend you use a Gamma Seal lid, which looks like this one. So the cool thing about this is that all you do is just twist it and it comes right off. This is amazing, life-changing really, if you're using your long-term food storage on a regular basis, which I do, like I already mentioned, to make granola and bread. And don't worry, everything that I've mentioned, the bucket opener and the lids, I will link below in the description box so that they're easy for you to find later. One vitally important item you may be overlooking in your long-term storage is water. We have to have water. Think about how much water you use on a daily basis, not just to drink, but we need it to bathe and to wash dishes and to wash clothes and so on and so forth. So when you are building your long-term food storage, you need to also consider how you're going to store a good amount of water. And the way that we have combated that is right behind me here. You'll see these big blue things. You may have been wondering what those are. These are 55-gallon drums. They are food safe, and we store water in these. And you just use a hose to fill them up, and you put in, I believe it's a little bit of bleach, or I think you can also use vinegar. I will double check on that, but that helps to keep the water clean and fresh. And you do need to cycle the water out from time to time, but it's a great way to store a lot of water for your long-term storage. If you don't have the space for a lot of water like this, then you're going to want to have a water filter like this. This is, wait, let me show you the front. There we go. It is a Berkey water filtration system, and this uses gravity to filter out bacteria and chemicals and all kinds of stuff that you don't want in your water, and it just uses gravity. So it works without electricity. It is ideal for a situation such as an emergency or when you need to use your long-term storage and you don't have electricity for some reason. I actually have not used this. We have a different kind of distiller that we use on a day-to-day basis, but I have friends who have used this and they swear by it. So you may want to check that out, and I will link this in the description box below. Now, if you're interested in doing something like this, there are a few websites that I'm going to mention to you, and I will link them down below, where you can get higher volume items like this, things in bigger quantities. So obviously Costco and Sam's Club are two places you can buy from. As your standard, I already mentioned, and another one is beprepared.com, or I think it's also called Emergency Essentials. And that's where we've bought some of these items. So if you're interested, you can go check those things out. And again, this is not sponsored. This is just how we've bought these items and how we're storing them. I hope that these tips were helpful, especially if you're a beginner just getting started. I hope you found some things here that were useful. And on your way out, don't forget to check out my whole self-reliance playlist. I have my last video, which is about stocking your pantry for short-term 3-month supply that you cycle through. And I also have that to-go bag video. So check that out. I will see you in my next video. Bye.